Welcome to C19's Conversation, hosted by Stephanie Everson, Media Relations Manager with Memphis City Schools. Conversation features discussions with MCS and community leaders about issues impacting Memphis City Schools. Stephanie's guests today are Irma Carter, Coordinator, High School Initiatives, and Jeremy Houston, Implementation Manager, Kaplan K-12.
Hi, you're watching C19 Conversation. I'm your host, Stephanie Everson, and joining me in the studio today are Irma Carter, MCS Coordinator of High School Initiatives, and Jeremy Houston, Implementation Manager for Kaplan, here to talk about the importance of preparing for the ACT. Hello, you two.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
All right, first important question, what is the ACT?
Sure. The ACT is a national college admissions examination, right? And on the ACT, there's 250 multiple choice questions that will test students in 4 subject areas: math, science, English, and reading. And an ACT exam can take up to 3.5 hours to complete for our students.
Really?
Yes.
3.5. So what's on, you say, what are the elements that are on the ACT?
Sure. There's 4 subject areas. It's math, science, English, and reading. And again, it is timed. The English section has 75 questions, and you're going to have, I think, 45 minutes to complete it, right? So timing is critical.
Yes.
Right. Math section, 60 questions, 60 minutes. That's 60 seconds per question, right? Again, timing, very crucial. There's reading, which has 40 questions in 35 minutes, and the science also has 40 questions in 35 minutes, and that averages out to be about 51 seconds per question.
So timing is crucial, and preparing
Absolutely.
is crucial.
Very,
because
very.
some people are whizzes at tests, some people have a little bit more difficulty just in the testing environment, am I right?
Right.
Right, so who should be taking the ACT?
Okay, first of all seniors need to take the ACT. And the reason they need to take the ACT is to open up post-secondary opportunities, whether it be trade school, technical school, the military, or even college. But the state of Tennessee has mandated that all 11th graders take the ACT. So what we're trying to do with Kaplan is prepare students now, so once they become 11th graders, that they can make at least a 19, our goal is 19, but if they score 21 on the ACT, then they can get the Hope Scholarship. And currently the Hope Scholarship is $6,000 per year for 4-year schools and $3,000 for 2-year schools.
So really it sounds like maybe the earlier the better. If you take it before your senior year, you get a little bit more familiar about how it works and be a little bit better prepared, and you can take it again your senior year, right?
True, yes.
Right. So the earlier the better.
The earlier
now
the
is
better,
the time.
yes.
Why is it so important to prepare for the ACT? Now, MCS has partnered with Kaplan to make sure all students get the resources they need. So why did we find that necessary?
Okay, again, it's important for the students to practice for the test because naturally, the more practice they have, the better they will become at it. And as Jeremy said earlier, there are 4 parts to it, and timing is everything. So by practicing, students learn how to monitor their time. And once they start monitoring their times, then they can do better on the ACT. It's also important for them to practice because they can get additional scholarships if they do well, and we want them to get a good score. And by practicing, they can meet those college readiness benchmarks. And the college readiness benchmarks are 21 on reading, 18 on English, 22 on math, and 24 on science. So those are some big benchmarks that they have to meet. But the College Board said if our students can meet those benchmarks, then they have a 50% chance of scoring a B in their corresponding college course and a 75% chance of scoring at least a C.
Wow.
So that's why it's important for them to really study and do well.
Okay, now Jeremy, why is Kaplan involved?
Right.
What do you all?
Well, to echo what Ms. Carter said, it is incredibly important that students prepare. The National Association of College Admission Counseling actually lists a student's score on the ACT as the 2nd most important factor in the college admissions process, right? So it's critical that students prepare for this.
And you guys are here to help. I mean,
That's
we
true.
thank you for collaborating to help our children. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
And this
you.
is a free service. correct?
It's free to our students.
Right. Free to MCS students.
Free to
right.
MCS students. And Shelby County students have access to the online portion of the Kaplan.
Okay. All right. Well, it is important to let us know for our MCS family that this service is offered for all MCS students. That's very important for them to know. And it's not too late. They can start, they need to make sure they're preparing now, correct?
True.
When,
Yes.
when is the test?
March 19th.
March 19th?
Yes. But Kaplan will have a pre-test for students on February the 20th. And a boot camp for all students, whether you're 9th through 12th grade, for all students, it's going to be a boot camp during spring break in which students can come out and learn some of the Kaplan strategies.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Kaplan strategies, what are some of the basic ACT strategies you can share?
Sure. So we always tell students to answer every question, right? Even if they don't know the question or the answer to the question, make an educated guess. It's likely that you may get it right and get some points. So answer every question. Start with the easiest questions first, right? We've already kind of put forth that this is a time test and timing is critical. So if they're starting with the easiest questions first, then they're saving time for more difficult questions, thus increasing the likelihood that they're going to get the answer right. And then I think we also tell students when it comes to the math portion, we also put forth a technique called back solving. And this is when you have an equation in the question and numbers in the answers. You can actually take the numbers from the answer, insert it into the equation, and the one that solves the equation is the correct answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's already a help. I took the ACT, I won't say how long ago. I didn't have any of that. It's just I sat down and took a test and just got going, and I really didn't know what to prepare for. I mean, that's an excellent resource that
It
you guys
is,
are
it
offering
is.
to students, a huge resource.
It really is.
So what's it been like for you, Jeremy, with Kaplan working with MCS students, administration, and parents?
Sure, you know, it's been a fantastic experience, to be perfectly honest. I think I've been in 34 plus Memphis City High Schools. And each visit to a high school has left me with a highly favorable impression. More specifically, walking into a high school and seeing something like a wall of acceptance, where students have brought their acceptance letters and the schools posted it to kind of cultivate that college-bound culture, right? That's exciting. Something else would be 30 Plus Club. So school will promote those students who have scored 30 plus in a particular subject area or on the test itself. I think seeing those visual indicators gives additional credence to the partnership. And it's really exciting.
And we're glad to have you.
Yeah.
We're definitely glad to have you. So I'm taking it that students prepare at their schools
Yes.
when they're doing the ACT prep. So tell us a little bit about if a parent wants to make sure their child is in it, make sure they want to get started, it's not too late. Tell us what they need to do.
Okay, it's definitely not too late for students to become involved in the Kaplan online. Codes have been given to schools for students. So parents, if your students don't have their codes for the ACT, have them go by the school and contact the counselor or either the principal and ask them for those codes, because students in grades 9 through 12 have access to the ACT online. And it's a 24/7 service. It's even during the summer. So for students who say they have nothing to do during the summer, they can go online and practice on ACT. It's available to our students to July 31st.
Well, it's very important to practice.
It is.
Definitely. What are some of the different ACT courses that Kaplan offers to MCS students?
Sure, we offer 3 courses to Memphis City School students. The first is referred to as Kaplan ACT On Demand, and Ms. Carter referred to an online resource, and that is the On Demand course.
Okay.
Students have 24/7 access to a dynamic online resource. I think some of the most unique things about On Demand is it actually solicits information from students and then takes that information and tailors a study plan to meet that student as an individual wherever he or she is and get them where they need to go, achieving their goal score. Something else that's really unique about the on-demand course is something called Smart Points, right? So Kaplan knows what's going to be on the ACT, and we know that certain subject area carries certain point value. So the on-demand system ensures that students are studying the subject matter that's going to get them the most points on the March 19th test day, right? That's
Yeah.
big.
That's huge.
Sure. Then Kaplan ACT Foundations is actually 21 hours in math and science and 21 hours in English and reading. And this is exactly what the name implies. It's designed to give students a foundation to prepare for content that's most frequently asked on the ACT. That component is administered by the Memphis City School teacher. And then the third course we offer is actually called Kaplan ACT Complete. And this is where a Kaplan trained instructor will actually go to the school, interact with students, and give them strategies, like we've discussed here, give them strategies to take the test as well as information about the ACT.
Wow, so you're not just here the month before the ACT test. It looks like you guys are involved throughout the year, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you keep this going, and that's what's important, and your presence is known, and they know, okay, I got to get ready. You just don't spring up, time to take the test. And so that kind of involvement is greatly, greatly appreciated, that you guys have maintained a good partnership and a presence at the schools. So I know the answer to this, but I want to hear you guys say it. What outcome overall are you looking for by partnering MCS and Kaplan together for the students?
Well, naturally, the main outcome we want is that our students meet those college readiness benchmarks. But we would like for students to score at least a 19 overall, so that once they go to college, they don't have to take remedial courses. And if they get a 21, then they get the Hope Scholarship. But we are hoping that through this partnership with Kaplan that we can help make our students confident, so when they go in there to take the test, that they will do well.
So what have been some past experiences that you can reflect upon that students have told you? You know, I know that you see them right there, every week. What have they said to you? Students from years past and students right now that are preparing.
Well, we've had several students who have really done well on the test. They said that using the Kaplan method has helped them increase their scores tremendously. And what a lot of students are saying is that the strategies that they're learning through Kaplan, that they're using them on other tests too, not just the Kaplan test, but their classroom tests and other tests.
All right, what about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think in conversation with students being at the school, it really goes back to what Ms. Carter said about building confidence, right? It's really important to be confident on test day with all of the stresses, right? We're asking a lot of students. We're asking them to read and write and critically think for prolonged periods of time, and it does take preparation. So to see students be confident on test day is one reward. I think we want to help all students propel student achievement. Right? Students come to us with different goals in mind. Some want dramatic increases, others want to just increase 1 or 2 points to get that extra boost, right? And that's what we're there to do.
Right. Okay, so where can parents get free resources to learn more about the ACT prep offerings and help their children prepare?
Okay, one place they can get the resource is click on Memphis City Schools website and follow the Kaplan link. The other, if they would like to, they can call the High School Initiative Office at 416-4746 for additional information.
Okay, and you've got some books here. So what are these resources in front of us?
These books are actually the Kaplan Foundation's books, right? 21 hours in English and reading, 21 hours in math and science, designed to give the students the foundation they're going to need to master the content most frequently asked on the ACT. And I think I would echo Ms. Carter yet again that especially with the foundations piece, they're totally aligned to state curriculum standards. So Kaplan resources, these courses that students are taking, are going to benefit students well beyond the March 19th test date.
Definitely.
Okay. And I'm glad Jeremy mentioned about the alignment too, because we have given those alignment to the teachers so that it's not just something else for teachers to do. We align the Kaplan SPIs with those of Memphis City Schools. So once a teacher teaches a class, they can use Kaplan as additional resources.
And that's very helpful. And like you said, it's glad to hear that these strategies you all are teaching the students are helping them with their other classes. That's very important. So once again, the big test date is March 19th,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
All right, but you guys are here to help. You'll be there every step of the way.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
For more information on how you can prepare for the ACT with Kaplan and Memphis City Schools, visit www.mcsk12.net and click on the Kaplan ACT Prep link. I'm Stephanie Everson. You've been watching C19 Conversation. Have a great day.
The preceding was produced by the Department of Communications and Broadcast Services through the facilities of C19 and FM 88.5. Stacy Franklin, Executive Director.